don't know what to call it really. It's not aggression, but a bit of almost like nervous energy between them. It's almost as if these bulls only joined the herd just now. Keep in mind, breeding herds, it's one of the youngsters trumpeting. Breeding herds don't travel permanently with big bulls. Big bulls only join them visiting and going away again. The only fixed grouping with elephants are the breeding herd structure, so the adult females and the youngsters. The males come and go, relatively speaking, to what's going on, to females in estrus or to bigger bulls coming along and pushing them away again. So there's a lot of change with which bulls are with the herds. Gives an idea of good size there. The two elephants furthest to the left. Now he's blocking her, but the one sort of turning sideways now, that's a bull, as I said, about 30 years or so, a little bit more or less, maybe 29, 30 years old. And the one behind him, just coming out there now, that's an adult female, probably of a good 35 years old, so older than him. So you can see the size difference is massive. And by the time that this guy gets to 35, 40, he will be substantially larger than her. But for now, they're having fun. The mud is great for many things, but firstly, on a day like this where it's getting hot now, it helps to cool them down, because obviously you get this evaporative cooling now as if you're sweating. I mean, elephants don't sweat, so they can wet their skin with mud or water. And this mud is going to cake onto the skin and into those folds in this very rough skin that they have. And as the wind blows, the mud in the sort of the folds of the skin will stay wet for longer, and they'll keep them cool as well. Another benefit, parasites. Bits of ticks and fleas and things they pick up. Again, their skin is thick enough to mean that that's not really a problem for most of the time, but you still get them in there, getting into those little folds in the skins and all over. And this also helps to get rid of them. So there's a practical sort of hygienic aspect to this as well. It might not look like this, but this is the equivalent of a bath in many ways. Look at that big guy. He's got his tusks into the mud at the moment. He's standing, literally keeping his weight in his tusks. Oh, this is a lovely scene. Look at that guy also his tusks in the mud now. Basically trying to make more mud. So he's just digging in there. That's quite amazing. You don't see these big guys that often. Just shows you how dexterous they still are and how maneuverable they still are with those big bodies. But he's trying to get mud all over him. But I think he's also actually using his tusks to churn up and dig up the mud there a bit. Beautiful to see this. Yeah, we're definitely going to stay with these Ellies for the rest of the drive unless they leave. But it's a beautiful sight here. Look at that. That's one happy elephant. He's literally covered now head to toes. Our station is Mudhole, small slumby and low baboon pan. For Gary Main Twin Dams baboon pan. You can see they can use all kinds of different. You can see they can use all kinds of different ways of getting the mud onto them. The trunks, kicking the mud, the tusks, as we just saw, physically getting down into the mud. You can imagine what a nice relief that must be if you've been really hot. Get some cool mud all over you. I think I'm almost considering it myself at the moment, VM. The sun has certainly kicked it up a notch or two in the last 20 minutes. So we're on one of the main roads here. This might be a vehicle passing us. Move a little bit. There we go. Oh, what a lovely sight. Sort of the smaller elephants, the younger ones in the breeding herd, have moved on. So we've now got the big bulls that we found to start with. There's two playing a bit of tusk wrestling in the back. And it's mostly just young males actually. I'm just trying to see, I don't see... it actually looks like young males mainly. Certainly listen there, two of them stopped. You can see when elephants listen, the one on the right still is this one here. If you look at the canal, the ears moving, but they tilt the ears slightly up, slightly forward, and then they keep it still. There it's doing it again. Maybe just hearing something, maybe something from the herd, maybe from elephants further away. Way. This could become quite funny. It's quite a slippery story in there, so... Oh guys, this is amazing actually. Not every day you see elephants really having a big sort of play like this. Oh, we've got more elephants. Wow, a couple more here behind us. Another breeding herd, some babies, a female. Coming around us. Maybe that's what that other elephant was listening to just now. It'll be nice to see now because you'll get a little bit of interaction here. Look at the young one coming closer. You'll get the new elephants arriving, sort of greeting a little bit the ones that are having the mud bath at the moment. Look at those little ones just having a blast. Absolutely loving it. Like the grown-ups, these young ones are just enjoying getting into the mud, cooling down. And baby elephants can play so much that eventually the adults actually have to call them. I've seen that many times at waterholes. They're having so much fun that the adults have to come over and call them once or twice. sometimes even physically come over and sort of remind them that, listen, we've spoken, you must come now. Look at that little one. Yay, lots of attitude. I love all elephants, but I love baby elephant. They can be awesome to watch. Just getting back close to mum again. Well, these guys are still enjoying the mud. The big guys seem to be taking a bit more time at it. I think of all of them, this one here has done the best job. Oh, and he's going in for more. He is so covered in mud now. He wants to make sure that he stays cool for the rest of the day. This is also a question that you get every so often. Can big elephants lie down? That gives you the answer. Although they do like to lie down, sort of like he's doing now, where there's a slight slope on the one side. Oi! Sure, he's just so enjoying this. Sorry guys, I just find elephants quite comical to watch sometimes. Especially when they're in sort of a slightly fun or elated mood like they are now. You know, just messing around and the trunks are flopping around. Great animals. Really are great animals. Well, it's been a fantastic morning, great ending as well. Finding elephants are always exciting, and especially when you find them in such a beautiful setting. This is just he's just happy elephant. So thank you very much for joining us at WildEarth here in Sabi Sands, and the weekend's coming, so Big Cat Week is around the corner. Join us for the afternoon drive, guys. Please, it's going to be a nice big one. Hopefully we find some cats. Lots of time for questions from myself, Peter Pretorius, and VM behind the camera. VM, us being on the vehicle with you, and Alex in the back in control. Thank you very much, and on behalf of Scott and Brian as well in the other vehicle, see you this afternoon, and enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the last bit of the elephants.